Agree to disagree.
So today, on Agree to Disagree, we're not just speaking with a leader, we're speaking with a woman who believes that power is not a birthright, it's a burden and a responsibility. A woman who doesn't just occupy a seat in the parliament, but redefines what it means to lead with both spine and soul.
Today, I'm honored to welcome a new voice in Indian politics, a young, sharp and rooted Deepti Maheshwari ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Agree to Disagree.
Thank you so much, Vivan. I'm honored.
Okay, so you've grown up in a political family, you've seen your mother, her highs, her lows. What is one attribute you think you have taken from her?
I think it has to be hard work. And yeah, one attribute has to be the hard work that she always put in.
Growing up, did you always want to be a politician or were other circumstances that led to this?
Vivan, actually, to be very honest, one thing that I never wanted to be was into politics, and I never wanted to enter because growing up, you feel that the kind of hard work my mother, I had always seen her working so hard, and she would hardly be in Udaipur or she's always traveling places. So I always thought that this is not my cup of tea. I can't travel as much as she does. So yeah, that is one thing that I never wanted to be, but circumstances got me into it. And once I am in this, I actually feel that there are very few and small things that you can do to help people, and that gives me contentment also, honestly.
Okay. Talking about hard work, for everyone watching, what is a day in the life of Deepti Maheshwari? Is it 18 hours of work, campaigns, rallies, and how do you juggle between your work time and family time?
A day in my life is very difficult to explain because every day is different. Every day has different challenges. There are days when I start my day at 6 in the morning, as early as 6 in the morning, and finish up by 12. And then there are days where, things are not, there are less of programs and I can have my own time. So, yeah, every day is different, but it is a lot more challenging. Especially, I feel that politics in previous era and today's era, we have to be very cautious because of the social media, because of every time we are under a camera. So, we have to be very cautious what we're talking, where are we going, how we are behaving. So, it's that light that you keeps you on your toes.
Many young people like me see politics as intimidating or inaccessible. Many people see it as dirty or distant. What struggles have you faced in this sector and how did you overcome them?
See, honestly, for me, definitely, politics is not intimidating, but at times it is full of struggles because there's hard work. There is a lot of people who want to be there, and there are very few positions in government. But there are different ways that you can deal with the entire politics and the entire system. For me, if you talk about nervousness, if you talk about if I was scared when I entered, yes, I was scared like anything. I didn't know how to speak in the mic. I hated to be there in the limelight, or you can say that. I still remember when I gave this first speech during my campaign because before that I had never given any speeches in public. So my first speech was in front of 3,000 people, and my stomach had all the possible butterflies, and I honestly didn't know what I'm going to speak and how I'm going to speak. And my speech was as short as 5 minutes. But overcoming from there, it's been 4 years. It's like how much ever you practice,
Yeah.
it keeps on coming to you. So of course there are struggles. I would not say that politics does not come with struggle. There are struggle that everybody is having. Being a part of a political family or not being part of political family, everybody has to take their own journey. And even if you've given a position or a place where few people think that it might be easier for a person who has grown up in the family, still the struggles are same and struggles are always there.
If a student wants to join politics, what are the first steps they should take to be a politician? Should they learn about economics, world politics, history? Should they be a good orator or a good listener?
Honestly, that is the irony that, I won't I will not pinpoint on one thing that a student or anybody who wants to join politics, but I honestly feel that you have to have a overall development when you are into politics, because you will be given chances where you have to speak. So first, vocabulary has to be amazing. Hindi, English, both. There were times where I'm still picking up on Hindi or English, both ways. I would say that you have to make your point very strong in very few words, so that art one has to learn. Of course, then your general knowledge, knowing people and knowing the affairs that are happening around you is very important. So I think the first thing that my parents used to tell me, which I didn't follow till 7th, 8th, but after that it has been a habit to open the newspaper every day. I know that social media gives you all kind of information that one needs, but reading a newspaper will actually give you a broader perspective in terms of vocabulary, as well as you'll know a lot of issues that are happening around you.
What is one area of work which is closest to your heart? Is it financial independence, women empowerment, or social justice?
Ah, I won't be able to pinpoint that, Vivan, but I think what keeps me going, I'd rather put this question in a way that, what keeps me going, because there are times that, you know how a heartbeat goes. So every day is different. There are days where you are very high about what you're doing. There are days where you're very low. You're feeling that, okay, where we are today. So one thing that gives me contentment in what I am doing is that when you genuinely are in a position to kind of help people, to kind of see their basic needs are also not there are times where people come crying to us and they go back with a happy smile, or at least they're satisfied that their work is going to get done. So that keeps me going. Those blessings keep me elevated. I would say that that is my to go thing.
Do you believe women in politics are expected to prove their worth more than their male counterparts? Have you ever had to make a decision that would be less emotional or more assertive?
I would say, Vivan, that it is irony that it's not only in politics, but any field, women have to always kind of give in more. Okay, and because it's not only, again, I would also say that it's not only in India. People say that India has kind of a taboo with women working. It's not there. I think we have been the most modern country when it comes to giving women the empowerment that one needs. But definitely in every work that women does, she has to continuously prove her mettle, not only because it's very easy for men to get along and be there, but for a woman she has to be in her limits also, in talking, in behaving, in various things. Plus yes, definitely we have to struggle more, and the struggles are definitely there.
Talking about women empowerment, what do you feel about the 33% reservations of women?
This, I'll tell you a very small, a very very short story also. When this movement began in back 2007 or 2008, I think my mother was a very important and integral part of this entire movement of 33% of reservation. I'd say, see, reservation is there so that the upliftment of that particular sect is there.
Yeah.
And when we talk about India, we are 50% women and 50% men.
Then.
Definitely the 33% will help more women to enter politics. It will be a stepping stone. But again, as your previous question was, I would again come back to that,
Yeah.
that we have to still prove our mettle. And it's not because a woman has to, woman gets a easier. It's not that. 33% is just going to give us that one leverage of taking that one step forward. Then the story is safe.
And more power to you and girl power. In your political career, you have touched people at the grassroots level. What is one part of your political career that has touched your heart?
Definitely, I get a lot of opportunity to meet people. Viman, before entering into politics, my life was completely different. I would say that I knew my mother was into politics. I had seen people coming to our houses, but when I actually stepped into it, or rather, stepped into the shoes that she was wearing from a very long time, I actually saw that. in villages, still there are things that we need to change. Still, there is a lot of mindset that needs to be changed. And what really touched me is that it made me more grounded because I think every day I thank God and I feel that I'm so blessed that I'm in a position where I can actually go and help people and make them understand their few things, their needs that they have, and also at the same time, India in metropolitan cities and India in villages is very different.
Yeah.
So you actually see that, what are those basic things that are still needed to be done. And for which I think I would take this opportunity also to say that PM Modi has done fabulous things when you talk about uh, directly sending the money to those who need.
Yeah.
So when the accounts were opened, everybody thought that why these accounts are getting opened. But today, anything that central government is doing, it is directly reaching to the grassroots people. So all these things together, I would say that that is something which I feel has made that change.
Now, coming to the most interesting part of this podcast, agree to disagree. You can either agree, disagree, or we can agree to disagree. Politics is no longer a tool for change, but a space for chaos.
Disagree.
Politics need more hustle and less heart.
Disagree.
Okay, the best politicians are the best listeners.
It's a very thin question, but yeah, we want to listen more, but we end up not listening.
Yeah. The louder the leader, the weaker the argument.
Disagree.
Good politics is about making compromises.
Agreed.
Protests are needed in democracy.
Agree.
Politics should be taught in school.
Agree.
Legacy gets you in politics, but merit keeps you in politics.
Agree.
Yeah, ma'am, you're a living example of this. Younger politicians have a higher impact than older politicians.
I wouldn't say younger politicians have higher impact because we older politicians come with their experience and younger politicians come with their passion and their energy. So both are equally needed.
It's balanced.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this spectacular podcast.
Thank you so very much. All the very best to you. And I'm so sure Agree to Disagree is going to go to places. All the very best for your future as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agree to disagree.